back for another exciting episode of It's Complicated. Larry, I feel like we haven't been together for so long. I've missed you. We had so much to talk about.
It's been forever, buddy. I miss you too. We got to get caught up. How's the polyps?
Ow! You got to go straight to that, don't you?
Well, that's where I usually go to. That's what upsets my wife so much. It's
I'm diving right in with it.
See, towing the line, but not being dirty. That's what you asked for.
We're diving right in today. I've got a couple good topics to talk about before we bring on our special guest, and very excited about it. He's a super smart dude, just a genuine guy. First order of business, People's Choice Awards. How does Larry Smith feel about People's Choice Awards?
I think that the People's Choice Awards are better than any other awards show, because while the general populace can't be trusted and isn't that bright, I'd still rather see what the general populace likes and what they award over some pile of rich, spoiled jerks from... this is not going to endear me to anyone that's ever going to give me a career, is it?
Let's shift gears and focus on the local People's Choice Awards. Maybe not so much like an award show on TV, but maybe hyper-focus on Springfield, Illinois Times Best Of, for instance.
Oh, yeah, the Illinois Times Best Of. Yeah, I kind of forgot that exists. I fought so hard for them to add a category for comedian.
I remember, that was years ago.
Yeah, and I shamed them multiple times until they finally added it. And then there was a year that they let a troll win. They didn't even follow up to see if the dude isn't a comic. He doesn't do any comedy. He doesn't even live in Illinois. He just found this and found a way to troll it and win. And that was the day that I went, oh, this doesn't matter. Yeah. Now, if I win, it matters. It's huge, and I'll be so grateful, and I love you all so much. But, I will say, it at least does bring some... light, shine some light onto the local scene, which...
Agreed.
Central Illinois has a really good comedy scene, and some really good comics coming out of here, and... 100%. So if they can get some recognition, that makes me very happy.
Nice. My take on it from a business owner perspective is I don't know that it's a People's Choice Award at all when it comes to Best Of, because Illinois Times may be different, but I know when they run Best Of competitions in our neck of the woods, it's typically driven by how much you spend on marketing and advertising with those media outlets.
Uh-huh.
And not to go too far down the road, I didn't win Prom King, believe it or not. So,
what?
Yeah, I know.
That actually does shock. I'm actually shocked by that. You seem like Prom King material. Whoa. I emceed the prom. That's what I did.
I may have been on the prom court. All right, so.
Of course you were.
Maybe this throws out.
Handsome little sprite, you.
Maybe this throws out my thoughts at all on this, but I do. I feel it's basically driven mostly by marketing and advertising, and it's not really chosen by the people at all. I guess it's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah. When you're going through the Best Of categories, and you are scrolling down online, and it's like, let's say that best local restaurant. It's like, the Dublin Pub. Darcy's, and then it's like a big Buffalo Wild Wings. So that's not even local.
Yeah.
And why did they buy this big advertisement?
It's local because it's in Springfield.
Yeah. Chick-fil-A. Dude, it's locally owned franchise. No, yeah, it is. And,
that's a whole nother rabbit hole. P.S. It may not be locally owned by anyone from Springfield. It can be someone from Florida. Let's not get into it. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm with you. It's so funny how it's People's Choice, but then if you pay us $150, we'll make sure that you have a picture.
Yeah.
And you have, although, and every year I have kind of ironically, posted about it. But I told Nicole this year, I was like, I might actually I might go like over the top ridiculous, try to win. Like if I get through this first round of voting,
Yeah.
and my name is up there, and I'm nominated, I might go super ridiculous, over the top, obnoxious, or I'll do what I always do, which is, huh? Yeah,
Right.
whatever, man. That seems like a lot of effort. I'm pretty busy over here.
Yeah. So you and I talk because you're from Springfield. I worked there full time for 5 years. So I really actually love Springfield. And maybe that's because I'm an outsider. I don't know. But I do enjoy Springfield. And my cover band played there often. We hit the Curve, Blue Grouch, kind of all the hot bars in the Springfield area. There are a couple others. I don't know why they're escaping me right now, but we were actually voted in the Illinois Best Times a couple of years, and I definitely did. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can nominate yourself, but I felt good just by seeing our name in there because I'm like, I guess we're doing something right. People are actually nominating.
I know. I voted for it.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome. I think Lick Creek ended up winning, which they won every year in my eyes. I think they're doing them justice because that's a pretty solid band. But
yeah, they're solid. They're really good. And like that's the thing. There was only like the 1 year where the Troll won, but that made me go. It just frustrated me because I'm like, just check on what you're doing before you do it. But like some very good comics have won. So I can't be mad about it. I'm just glad that it's still I'm just glad it's a category that continues to be there. They continue to recognize it.
100% agree.
And yeah, because at this point I'm traveling so much that when people are like, "Oh, you do stuff locally here?" Mm-hmm. Yeah, but normally I'm 5, 6, 7 hours away on a Saturday, which is, the whole idea. So, when people are like, "Oh yeah, him. Yeah, we remember you. You just host the open mic, don't you?"
Right.
Yeah, that's it. I just host the open mic. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm cool with that.
Getting a little personal here.
Oh.
I've got to know. The world has to know. Who was your childhood crush?
Like real life or media?
Whatever.
Man.
Oh, I see. Yeah, let's go with media.
Media, okay. I mean, Tiffany Amber Thiessen, man.
Really?
Right off the top, I had Tiffany Amber Thiessen and Kathy Ireland.
Ooh, that's a good.
Those were to the point that I'll tell you, my freshman year of college, I came back from Christmas break. I'm walking up to my dorm. I'm in a weird place, my freshman year. Things aren't going great. I'd had some sadness before I went to college. Over Christmas break, I had a long-term girlfriend break up with me. Like, the whole thing, everything just went south. And I lived on the second floor of this dorm, and I'm trudging up the stairs, and I open the door to walk past the communal trash can. And when I glance over, because I'm white trash, I always check the trash cans. I check the side of the road. I can't help myself. I to this day, we're out for a walk, and I'll see a pile of trash, and I'm like, anything useful in there? God, you don't need it. Walk away. But I glance in the trash can, and Brandon, I swear to you, it was a Christmas miracle. There was a Kathy Ireland calendar for that year, like for the coming year, and an unopened bottle of Boone's Farm.
Wow.
That is a
and
miracle.
I made an evening of it. I just me and Kathy, we got to know each other
Did you? On a personal level.
on a very personal level. I drank a bottle of Boone's Farm, and then got a phone call that was like, "Hey, would you like to come? Would you like to come drink real booze with real people?" And I'm like, "I don't know, man. Kathy's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
we just made it to July. It's my birthday."
You were
And
the oldest
they were
freshman
like,
in the history drinking legally.
yes, I was drinking legal. My kids watch anything that the statute of limitations is up. I already got popped for underage drinking,
Yeah.
so it's like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna come find me?
Right.
Come find me. By all means, take my diploma away.
I think.
Wait, who is yours? Yeah, I need to know who yours was.
It's kind of a two-parter. You've got your early years and then your teen years, and you can't really figure out who was more important in your life. So I think for my early years, I don't know if anybody else, I'm sure somebody did, but Taylor Dane was it for me. The musician.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tell it to my
There it is.
Tell me I'm the only one. Is it really love or just a game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't hit that note, but good for you for being able to. I'll be your sexy male background dancer. Is what I'll be. Oh yeah, yeah. That's the I got.
Yeah, she did it for me. When I was younger. This is before probably the age of 10, before the teen years. My mom would pop on records on a Friday night or a Saturday night, and she was in the regular rotation, and so was Europe. The band Europe was in it a lot.
Well, I'll tell you, the Bangles and the Go-Go's were big. That kind of rushed me towards teaching me what I liked as a child. Yeah. My sisters would let me stay up late and watch Friday night videos. If anybody is decrepit enough to remember that show, I watched it was the Go-Go's and the Bangles, and I was just
yeah. So she did it for me. As I shifted into my teen years, Natalie Imbruglia, another musician.
Yeah. I'm with you. I can dig it. There's no judgment here.
Natalie Imbruglia, that was it for me. And believe it or not, I think she started to go kind of back out on tour, and unfortunately I was here, but I was like, I might buy a ticket to that. But it might be like Ponderosa too. I loved Ponderosa when I was a kid, and I went a couple of years ago, and it just wasn't the same.
Yeah, I'll throw in Liz Phair. I saw Liz Phair on something when I was like in junior high, and my reaction was, and I still do that. And my wife gets it. Like when we went, we got tickets for. It was supposed to be Liz Phair, Garbage, and Alanis.
Right on.
And Liz couldn't make the concert date that we went to, but still get to see Shirley Manson, which in my high school years made me do the and still does. And then Alanis came out and was just Alanis. She's just incredible. But yeah, that was that. Yeah, Tiffany Amber Thiessen and Kathy Ireland.
I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, we've deliberated enough. It's time to announce another comic in our upcoming comedy series, which is only almost a month away as we start off with Francisco Ramos, October 12th to the 14th. So we're getting there. You can buy tickets for that show. You can buy tickets for Sam Miller. You can buy tickets for Joe Mackey right now at threeravens.pub.
And I hear Joe Mackey's feature act is incredible.
The one and only Larry Larry Smith.
Son of a... I cannot tell you how many times when my kids are like, oh yeah, my dad's a comedian. They're like, oh, what's his name? Larry Smith. He's Larry the Cable Guy? No, my dad writes his own material.
Oh, that's great. Okay, this man's talents have landed him work on Comedy Central MTV. I don't know why I'm flying.
I'm dancing because I'm still singing Taylor Dane
Yeah.
in my head.
To my heart. All right. Let's do this. His talents have landed him work on Comedy Central, MTV, Peacock, NBC, CBS, Comcast, SiriusXM, Kevin Hart's LOL Network, and as a segment producer on the hit show Ridiculousness. So a lot of stuff under this guy's belt. He's written for the likes of Kevin Hart and Snoop D-O Double G. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only JB Ball. JB.
What's up, dude? How you guys doing? Sorry for the delay there. I apologize. I got my
That's okay.
mixed up.
Yeah, I knew our window was small. I do appreciate being flexible. I don't know how much Rachel told you, but Larry is in Central Standard Time. Not certain where you are right now. I know you got some Ohio dates.
Yeah, I'm in Cincinnati at the moment.
Oh, nice. And I am 7,000 miles away from home.
Okay. So, oh, wow. Where are you at?
I am in the Middle East.
Okay. Yeah.
He an undisclosed location in the Middle East.
House, I'm glad you got a computer.
Yeah, I'm at the cafe, the internet cafe.
Oh, wow. Okay.
No,
you're talking loud to be in a public location, man. You're like a bold American. All right.
Yeah. Oh, I'm in what Larry deems my dorm room.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, he's in his dorm room in the Middle East.
Yeah. I read about this thing in Japan. They have these things called like manga cafes. I guess they're like comic book shops that have like rooms you can rent. And I'm listening. Yeah. Yeah. I'm listening to this podcast.
Yeah, I know some shops like that here in the Midwest.
Yeah. So check this out. So this podcast I'm listening to, when they're talking about it, they're saying that tons of people in that country go missing on purpose, and one of the things that they do is they just rent out those rooms in the manga cafes so that no one can find them. but it's sort of like low key, like less than rent. So it's like you could just live in there all the time if you really want to. You keep paying the guy up front, you just go right back.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a really weird existence.
I knew a guy that rented a storage unit and lived in there for a month until they discovered him living in there, and then asked him very kindly to leave.
I have this firm belief that there's no storage place that doesn't have that story. You know what I mean? Like they've all that's an inevitable. Hey man, someone's gonna try to live here. You're gonna have to deal with that.
Yeah,
just that it's coming up.
Imagine being the property manager.
Oh my god, yeah, that's gotta be so nuts. And it's also like the commitment to not have a shower is just like, I feel like that's the part I respect the most.
Yeah.
Well, if you're renting a storage unit and you have like a Planet Fitness membership, that's still way cheaper than rent. You're golden.
Yeah, but you live in a storage unit, so it just kind of depends on like what do you want for your life. I guess is one of the. Listen,
cheap rent.
Show me a man that can get a woman back to his storage unit / home, and I will show you a man that needs to write a book on picking up women.
I'm going to tell you right now, if I had been issued that challenge 13 years ago when I met my wife, her first husband really set the bar.
I was going to say, be careful what you say about your wife right now, man.
No, she would agree. That first husband, she was 20 when she got married. She was 22 when she got divorced. And she went, "Oh my God, I can't do this. What did I do to myself?" I met her when she was 23. Trust me, that dude said, I send him a thank you card every year. Because all I have to do is be like, "Hey, you look pretty today," like once a week. And that's,
sure.
Yeah, dude really set me up for success.
I just want to say on the record, you just said that your wife only looks pretty once a week. I just want you to know that that's what you said. That's what I heard.
That's the only time. No, never.
Hey,
no.
Speaking of living arrangements, JV.
Yeah.
From what I understand, you grew up in Tampa, Florida.
I did. Yeah. I'm from Tampa. My dad was Air Force. There's a big Air Force base there, so we ended up stationed there. Mm-hmm.
Were you aware that Tampa hosts the largest gathering of pirates once a year?
Yeah, 100%. It's called Gasparilla, and it's a point of pride. Yeah. We're a pirate city. I'm literally wearing pirate gear now. This is all like pirate themed stuff. I'm big into pirate culture. It's not a good thing, but we still do it.
And I just realized, very fitting for the way I look and my surroundings, I'm wearing a Yosemite t-shirt because I look like I'm living in a storage unit in Yosemite.
I wasn't going to say
Park,
anything, but I'm gled you brought it up.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. No, joking.
Here's how you get a woman back here. Chloroform on a rag.
You just pull one up by
a pirates.
It's like, oh my God. No, but
you are into the pirates, huh?
You say what?
You are into the pirates.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, here's the thing, right? Like, pirates historically are bad, but inherently as a character are one of the more interesting characters we've ever created, right? So it's one of those things where I'm like, as long as you ignore all of the facts, what a fun people, huh?
Yeah.
Like, what a fun existence.
Yeah.
There's a...
I would love to be.
That's the thing. Like, a pirate seems like a fun thing to do until you learn literally anything about how it's actually done, and you're like, this is one of the worst things. Like, the idea that slaves escaped just to have to become pirates is just like, you might as well have stayed, man. This is bad. It's so bad.
Oh man!
That's why you gotta sleep up north. You don't go further south. South is the pirates, man. That's another bad life.
What kind of scurvy are you looking to get? Right. Northern scurvy or southern scurvy? Either way, scurvy. It's
bad day, man. Just go where the fruits are. Just head towards the fruits.
Yeah, scurvy or rickets. Scurvy or rickets. That's.
But yeah,
like my grandma always said.
But yeah, I'm obsessed with like pirate shows. I don't know if you've seen like Black Sails, which is amazing, or if you've seen Our Flag Means Death, which is super funny.
Our Flag Means Death.
It's so fantastic. I asked my manager, I'm like, hey man, how do I get on the show? Like, what do we got to do? It's so good. And she reached out, and apparently they won't hire anyone who isn't English. Like, they won't hire any non-English speakers, like proper English. So it's almost like Harry Potter. If you knew that about the Harry Potter movies, like they refused to hire any American actors. You had to be like English or Irish, I believe it was. One of the two. Like Robin Williams was trying to get in them, they wouldn't let him in for a number of characters. I think Jim Carrey as well tried to get in for a number of things, and they were like, no. So they were talking about like major names because they were like, where are you from? I'm like, it's not the presidency, dude. Like, he can do that.
Right. How long have you been in this country? Yeah. Not.
It's the first time I heard like show your birth certificate for a movie role. I was like, wait, I don't know what are we talking about? These characters are made up.
JB, shifting gears a little bit. I caught you. So I left. We talked about where I'm at. I left in February. I'll come back. It'll be really it'll be cutting it close to being able to be home for your event, January 25th or 27th. At our space, but I caught you last January with Brad Williams in St. Louis, and that's kind of where I was like,
sick.
Yeah. So I know that you've been on the road with Brad pretty much all year. How's that going for you?
I mean, it's been amazing. Yeah, like obviously, like Brad's one of my best friends, so it's a lot of fun when you're on the road with a friend because there's no pressure. You can just kind of make the show whatever you want, and because like your buddies, we both know we're both good, so it's like whatever the show's gonna be, we'll just make it that. It's gonna be fun to us regardless.
Yeah.
And I do like Brad's crowds because they're not technically my crowds. So it's really me.
I can agree with that. I was in the crowd.
Like, you know what I'm saying.
And it was a breath of fresh air. The feature and the host. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, it was Mike. Yeah, Mike was the host. Yeah. It's one of those things where being with Brad is particularly challenging and rewarding because it is not my specific demographic for my material. So I have to win over people who aren't necessarily inclined to want to hear it. And then they have the realization where they're like, no, I take it back. This is awesome. This is so fun. Yeah. So it's a great training ground for me personally. But at the end of the day, I end up meeting a bunch of great people and everybody's cool. It's just more like, I'm a black comic. So it's like, as soon as I go on stage, people have one expectation and then they'll hear what I want to talk about, the way I want to talk about it. And they just kind of go like, oh, this is for far more people than what I witnessed. Yeah. Absolutely. And so it's always, it's a nice pivot.
I was sold immediately, like I said, and you and I had a very short exchange there after the show, and I'd mentioned that I'd like to reach out, and here we are. We're in the situation where I'm like, this guy is going to kill it in our slice of paradise. So. Oh,
it's going to be fun. That's for sure going to be fun. Because I think even back when we did the St. Louis show, do you recall, had I already filmed the special, or was this after? Because I'm doing like a whole new hour now. Like my special just came out last week. The reviews have been great. Like everything's good, but it's just like I have a literal new hour of material that's been crushing. It's been so fun. So
fantastic. Yeah, I can't remember. I don't know if you brought it up. Maybe I think you did. I can't remember if you said I just recorded it or you were getting ready to, but it was right in that
okay.
time frame.
Cool. Yeah. So
Speaking of the special, if I could, I wanted to ask you a couple questions
Sure.
about that. One, it's called It's My Privilege. Okay, this makes. I watched it and then I wrote it down and then I looked at my handwriting, which is poor.
Okay.
And I don't even, as I'm taking notes, I looked at it. I was like, I think that's what I'm trying to spell.
Is that my rating for this? I give this special 3 scribbles.
The guy from my left foot actually writes better than I do. So when you were working up to this special, had you recorded albums before?
No.
This okay. So working up to this special, how long, like the material that got put in there, how long did you work on it? Was it like 2 years before putting it on?
It's a real mixed bag, because what ended up happening was, I can tell you the exact thing. So I already had an hour I was doing, but as I started shaping it for a special, I realized that there were some themes and some through lines that I wanted to stick with, and then there was some material that just didn't fit into those. So then I had to rewrite in order to like elongate some of those points and premises, right? So there's a number of things. There's probably 30 minutes that I already had that didn't make that special. That's really good stuff. But it just wasn't relevant to the topics I was talking about. There was no place to fit it in. And then I probably wrote in like another 15 to 20 in a couple of months to kind of fill in the gaps where I'm like, now we've got like a through line and a story, and we can come full circle in certain ways. So I kind of pieced it together, but that's really, I've been doing stand-up for 13 years. That's really an accumulation of stories that happened over those 13 years, right? So like, I mean, at this point, that's my first hour special, but that's probably my 6th or 7th hour of jokes. So like, there's tons of stuff I just retired. I just didn't put it on anything, but they were great jokes. I didn't grow up with comedy albums. To me, they don't hold any value. Like, I know that's different for other people because they grew up with them, but to me, like, it was stand-up special or nothing. That's kind of how I grew up. And so while this hour is going to be on an album, that was kind of just like a byproduct of like, it's just the audio from the special, but like I wouldn't have done it without the special. Because to me, like, that's the way it's meant to be interpreted. You need to see me and the way I'm conveying it. You need to see what I'm doing with my eyes or with my body, because all of those things are sending a message of like how to interpret what I'm saying. And sometimes like that can get lost through audio. So that's why I was never particularly a fan of it, even though I understand like its value. It's just the way I tell jokes is a tad different. Like, you really do need to see my face so you get my intent.
Well, yeah, I get that because I'm very similar. I have some of my jokes are key on the look on my face or the motion that I'm making, because I'll milk it out for as long as I can. And so you brought up a point, and I'm going to get to it. I recently have been, I don't know if I'm even supposed to say anything, but I've been approached. I've always said, hey, I'm never going to record anything until somebody approaches me and says, hey, do you want to record something? We'd like you to do that. Somebody did recently, and so we're doing it. But the stuff, I've got probably 2 previous hours that are good, 3 that I could, there's a 3rd that I can cherry pick some.
I get that.
My problem has been over the years, as I'm doing this and working up to the hour I'm doing now, which I really, really like, is there's jokes that I just got tired of telling. And so I sat them aside. And when you were working up to this, to do your special, were there jokes that when you got to that point, you were like, I am so damn sick and tired of telling this joke. I want to tell this new joke because it's pretty and fun and it's a new toy.
Yeah, 1,000%. And I'm actually one of those people, I write a lot. Like, and I do really topical stuff, and I find ways to make it evergreen, but like I write a lot. So prepping for the special was one of the most torturous things to me, because I had to keep running the same jokes constantly. Even though I was creating new ones, I couldn't work on any of the new ones. And it's like, it's a necessary evil because you got to make your product, right? So that you can move it on. But man, torturous. It just took forever before we could just record the damn thing so I could move on. So I felt like I was in limbo for months, you know?
Did you ever have the moments where you were editing it, or like going through the editing process where you listened to a joke and you go, "No, I found a better tag."
Yeah.
Like while you're
totally
listening.
Part of it. Totally part of it.
Did you punch a screen? Because I know I.
No, yeah. I just the beauty of it was I already had enough new material that I was excited for. Where I was like, well, that's gonna be what it's gonna be, man. I'm on to the new joke now. You know what I mean? So I just had to pivot. But it's also, you talk to any of the vets, any of the people that have come before you, they'll all say the same thing. Like Dave Chappelle will say the same thing about Killing Them Softly, and it's a perfect special. And it'll still be like, yeah, but later I thought of this and I could have added that. Like, it's always going to be that feeling, you know? And the reality is maybe you'll tell the story about the thing you thought of later on, and now that's a new, like, nice snippet clip of you kind of expanding upon, like, a joke that everybody knows you're famous for at this point, right? Like, you'll find a new purpose for the thought. So it's nothing to lose sleep over. But yeah, I totally, dude, it's super frustrating in the moment. You're like, oh my God, this was right there. You can't do anything about it. I think of my lucky stars that it's comedy that I feel that in, right? Because there are other professions where like it's a much more dire circumstance. Right? Imagine being like a fighter, you know what I mean? And you're watching playback of your fight, and you're going like, oh my God, this was there the whole time. Yeah. You're like lost by knockout, but the answer was right there.
Oh yeah.
Well, I've heard competitive guys that are competitive in jiu-jitsu, where they're like, no, I did this, and it's after the match where they're messing around with a friend. They're like, no, I should have done this and grabbed here instead of going this direction.
Tape. It's like watching tape after a football game, basketball game, any sporting event, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Or being like a heart surgeon. Sure. I think really that, you know,
tomato tomato.
Man, I should have
tomato tomato.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Same thing, guys.
Hey,
stakes are right there.
JB, I know we're on a very paper thin schedule. You got a show to attend to. So we're very respectful of your time. We want to say thank you very much. As we close this out, I've got one question left for you.
Sure, of course, and thank you for your time as well, you guys.
Who was your childhood crush?
Childhood crush, it's a tie. It's Eva Mendes and the singer Maya. Both of them.
Okay.
Eva Mendes is easily, and I'll debate anyone on this, I don't care what you think, easily the sexiest human being that has ever been created. Man, woman, any era, I'll put them up against Eva Mendes. It's not even questionable. Eva Mendes is the only video girl that actually made it into acting. Do you know that? She's the only successful actress that started as a video girl.
Oh yeah.
Tupac videos. Yeah. Did you look her up? Yeah. That girl.
I did. I was like, oh yeah. Because I knew the name.
Yeah, man.
Sorry.
Eva Mendes is so fine. Right? They were like, for this scene, we just need you to lay here. That's enough. That's enough. You see her in Training Day and you're like, what's his life? Like the minute you walk in the room and you see she's there, you're like, whoa, wow. He lives here, but she's there? Like it's a total, Eva Mendes is the answer. Maya is who I wish I could have attracted, but like Maya was into thugs. You know what you are, you know what you're not. You know what I mean?
But you're a pirate. That's the original thug.
That really is the original thug. If I just showed up at her doorstep with an eye patch and a sword, who knows what could have happened? You know?
Well, JB,
a parrot and some rickets. You ready to go?
Thank you so much for your time. We are very excited to have you. June. January 25th through the 27th next year. Just really looking forward to the show. Thanks again for your time. I'm excited to be there, man. And thank you again for reaching out so that we can make it happen. It's definitely going to be a fun show. You're going to get to see, anybody who comes out, you're going to get to see what the new hour special is going to look like. It's really, really fun. And we're going to cover some ground. I can assure you that. So definitely brace yourself, bring a good attitude. And we're going to have a great time. Cool, buddy. Great talking to you. All right, dude. Nice talking to you guys. See ya. See ya. Daddy said he's gonna whip my ass if he ever catches me smoking that grass.